Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 7 of the Love, Death, and Movies podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Byron. Yes, I am back. I am Byron, aka The Notorious, aka The Letterboxd List God, aka Better Than George Carmi. You know, all the nicknames. I am joined by my glorious co-hosts. Glorious, notorious. It works. Ash and Harry. Guys, it's been a while. How have you been? What have we been watching? Ash first. Fuck you, Harry.
It's fair enough. Honestly, it's a good
You
choice.
got, I think you got your 15 seconds in there.
I can mute him if you want, Ash.
No. The world needs to hear.
Yeah. I'm good though. I have been off this whole week. It's been Thanksgiving week here, where I am. So had the whole week off though, as I'm in the middle of switching jobs. So definitely been enjoying myself. Good mix of productivity and doing a whole lot of nothing. So can't complain. But yeah, ate way too much food on Thursday. I needed to fully recover yesterday from that. And yeah, just been watching a lot of rewatches, to be honest. Not a whole lot of new stuff this week. I think I watched 2 new movies this week, and the rest have all been rewatches. So I'm just been a little bit burnt out of that like feeling of sitting down watching a new movie where you have to like be totally focused, totally in it. So just didn't have it in me. But I did watch Shithouse, Cooper Rife's directorial debut movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was like a really accurate college depiction, just very simple movie, coming of age, kind of typical for him. But yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. I gave it 4 stars. And then I watched West Side Story, the Steven Spielberg remake from a couple years ago. I'd never seen it, and thought it was good. I didn't love it, but I thought it was enjoyable. I gave it like a low 4 out of 5. It was a really good production design, really good costumes and stunts and all of that. Some really good acting and good music. But I won't touch on everything I rewatched because there's a lot. There's a lot in there. But shout out Knives Out. I rewatched that because it's the best fall movie. I know
That's a
you guys are
great
probably not in
rewatch.
fall. You guys are in your summer, I think, right?
I'm December starts the
We're about
summer
to be.
for Australia.
Coming
Yeah.
up.
So we're on complete opposite sides of the world, and I'm going into winter, but that was kind of like my best fall movie choice for this week. So that was a fun rewatch.
Does it snow
Mm.
where you're at, Ash?
Not where I live, no, but I live like 2 hours from Tahoe, where it
Mm.
does snow a lot.
That
I've
sounds like a
seen
made
snow
up
once.
fucking place.
Lake Tahoe?
Yeah, that doesn't sound real.
It's
I'm
literally
so,
like one of the
I'm
biggest
just,
like hotspots in California.
I'm just saying, Ash. I've got my eyes on you now. Like,
You know what? Pull the map, Harry. I promise you, it's
I,
real and it's beautiful.
all
I
right.
have a Lake Taupo.
That sounds even faker. Like, well, this,
Taupo.
I don't trust either of you.
T-A-U-P-O. T-A-U-P-O.
Yeah.
Lake
T.
Taupo.
Look it up, and then you're
Big
gonna feel
lake.
really
Big
silly.
lake in a small country.
Real silly.
But yeah, that's about it for me. So it's been a good week. Harry?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, my week was good. I crossed 100 2023 release was watched this week, which is cool. Eat shit, Baron. But yeah, I saw a lot more bad than good this week, unfortunately. I saw, well, first up, I watched Saltburn again. I'm now on 3 watches, and I think
Seventh
I'm,
time? Oh, sorry.
yeah, my bad. But
This is the Batman for you.
oh, this is more than the Batman for me. Like this is like a.
Okay.
eh,
Gotta get those numbers up, man.
I know. Oh mate, you haven't seen it yet, Byron. All right. Like once you see it,
But I
it's.
will.
I've had so many people in the past like week just message me out of the blue. Like my one of my mates saw it last night, and he messaged me at like 1 a.m. He's like, just came out of Saltburn. Holy shit! And I'm like, yeah. So it's like it's that movie for me at the moment, which is really cool. Um, I might see it again today, to be honest. I watched one of the worst Christmas movies I've ever seen on Netflix, Best Christmas Ever. Heather Graham, it's awful. Jason Biggs, remember how that guy's still alive? I finally watched Infinity Pool, David Cronenberg. It wasn't for me. Beautifully made, but the script was awful. That's kind of how I thought of it. Um, Finally watched Ghosted, terrible film. Watched the Netflix animated movie with Adam Sandler, Leo. Because I love Adam Sandler. Didn't vibe the movie. There was a couple funny
Mm.
moments, and then that's kind of it. But everything else has been pretty good. I watched there's a new Netflix movie about to come out called Leave the World Behind, and I saw a preview of it yesterday. Um, It's this get this cast. The cast is disgusting. Mahershala Ali, Kevin Bacon, Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts.
Mm.
Unreal cast. When's the last time you saw Julia Roberts in a new film?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so the whole movie's like a post-apocalyptic film that kind of takes place whilst the quote-unquote apocalypse is happening. All these like apocalypse elements are happening. It's 2.5 hours, and it's just the whole movie's lead up. That's the entire film. So I didn't love
Two
it
and a
that
half
much.
hours?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours 20.
And
Yeah,
it's a Netflix original?
yeah, yeah.
That feels really long.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't love that. I also got to watch The Royal Hotel. Have you guys seen ads for this? This is with Julia Garner and Jessica Henwick.
Uh,
It's about the two American or Canadian backpackers that go through Australia, and they take up a job for a month to go work at this like pub in the middle of Australia's country at a mining town in outside of Perth. I really liked it. It was good, but again, it felt a little bit more too much lead up, not enough substance at the end. Julia Garner, who is it Julia Garner? Yeah, I think it is. I adore her. She's out of Ozark. Have you seen Ozark?
I have.
Yeah, she's. Oh my god, what's her name in Ozark? The blonde girl, curly hair. If you want to stop me, you gotta kill me. What's her name? Ruth. Ruth out of Ozark. She's brilliant. But yeah, she's good in that. And then I, of course, saw Napoleon, which we'll touch on later today. And I also rewatched or caught up with all my Invincible watching, which we'll also talk about today. But I've been good. Other than
Yes.
that, it's been pretty good. How about you, Byron? What have you been watching?
Um, I've seen 5 movies this entire month, which, if anyone is used to my content, you would know that I usually get in a good 35 to 50. So I've watched 5 films. I watched 28 Days Later because that movie fucking rips. I watched The Cost, which I gave
Nice.
a George point five to. Thank you, Matthew Holmes, for doing the interview. I also watched a couple 2023 releases in Dumb Money and Napoleon. And then, I rewatched The Batman because it's The Batman and it's fucking awesome. Um, as far as how I've been, busy. I had a holiday in Auckland, had some good time with my best friends that are tattooed right there.
Fuck
And
us,
then
Ash, eh? You know? Fuck us.
I'm not getting a tattoo for you guys. Maybe one day. Episode 100. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm in my 20s. I don't care. I'll do it. And then I had a trip down to Wellington, where 2 of my mates won their MMA debuts, both via submission, both in the first round. And I lost my voice.
That's awesome.
So congrats, Luca and Ferguson. So that is it for that. Just quick rundown. We've got reviews for Napoleon, Ridley Scott's brand new film, Invincible, the first half of season 2, which I've been anticipating for God knows how long now. We'll also be going over some underrated / hidden gems of the 2020s. We'll be going over the recent Superman castings. We'll be counting down our top 5 final girl characters of all time. And the game will be a guess the film based on the cast.
Ooh.
So we'll start.
Ooh.
Yes. So we'll start off with Invincible season 2, or the first half of season 2. Why they're releasing this in 2 sections, I don't know.
It feels like just 2 different seasons. Call it season 3.
Yeah, but you have season, was it 205, the Adam Eve like little episode?
Yeah.
Keeps on coming up after every episode of season 2. It was the recommended thing. It's just like, I've already seen it. Fuck off. I'm not going to watch it again after every episode. But Harry, I'm going to flick it over to you because you did watch this last night / 2 days ago as well.
Yeah.
What did you think about the first four episodes of the long-awaited second season of this beautiful fucking show?
Um, it's really good. It's like I told you, I was kind of like live messaging you after each episode I watched.
Yeah,
The first two and a half episodes, 3 episodes, it suffers from some of the main criticisms I have with Gen V, of like it's just missing some of the original spice, original like draw, especially one of the main characters that you can all guess. It's not a big surprise. Omni Man. Omni Man is like one of the main draws of this fucking show. This presence of a character, this antagonist that every time he's on screen completely steals the scene. It really was suffering from that. Not saying if he comes back or not, but something else happens, and from episode end of episode 3 and episode 4, it very much picks up again to being back to that level of quality, not quality, like interest, because it's a very quality show for sure. I do think it was suffering from it. Again, though, this is just comparing Invincible to Invincible. So comparing it to any other show, it's still head and shoulders above. But Christ, the writing is brilliant. The voice cast is disgusting. Even for like little characters, every now and then a little character will pop up. I'd press pause on Prime because it would give you the cast. Like Davide
yeah,
Diggs just turns up for like 2 scenes. Peter Cullen, the voice of fucking Optimus Prime, turns up for like 3 scenes and that's it. Like it's so sick. They really give a fuck about that sort of shit. But as a show,
yeah,
it's so quality. I'm very disappointed that I have to wait till fucking February now though. That's really really annoying.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I guess it like spaces it out a bit, but it is what it is. What do you think?
I actually don't mind the lack of the villain in the first couple episodes. I think the way season one ended, I actually like the fact that they're not relying on this big, massive villain to carry through. I like seeing. I think they've dealt with the aftermath of season one like brilliantly. Um, from Mark himself to his mother to all the other side characters, I think everyone is feeling the effects from season one. So I think they did a really good job on that. The voice acting is it's probably one of my favorite casts of all time. Um, I miss J.K. Simmons so goddamn much. He fucking kills that role every goddamn time, and so does Stephen Yeun.
Yeah.
Animation. I don't know if do you think it looked different to season one?
No.
It looks like they've like just put it up like a little bit. It's
No,
like they
maybe.
went from like 10 to 11.
They probably had more
Um,
budget, so probably.
yeah, because it looked just fucking incredible, man. That everything about it, I'm digging where everything is shaping out. Um, I'm into all the characters, new and old. I just think I don't think it's great. If I were to rate it, it'd probably be at like a 3.5 to a low 4.
Yep.
I think it's very, very good.
Yeah.
But the next four episodes, my expectations,
The trajectory though, like I agree. It started at 3.5 and was staying there, but then from
yeah,
episode 3 to 4 it's like going up. So like the trajectory is awesome.
yeah. So but this is in the hands of Prime Video. You know, they know what they're doing with superhero content. So
They do.
full faith from the Notorious. Speaking of reviews, we received one of the biggest movie releases of the year, without a doubt, which is Ridley Scott's war epic Napoleon. I don't know about you, Harry, but this was my clear cut movie for most anticipated of the year.
It was up there for me. It
Um,
was in my top 10.
yeah, this is directed by my favorite director of all time, Ridley Scott.
Michael Bay. Oh,
You know, what the don't even say that again. Um, but you watched it first, and you are lower on it. Not by much, but you are still lower on it. So I'm going to throw it over to you once again. What did you think about Ridley Scott's war epic?
Ash, you haven't seen Napoleon, have you? No,
I have not.
that's all good.
It was not as much of an anticipated one for me personally.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, you can't really spoil Napoleon, right? Like, cause like,
No,
No, you guys
the
feel free to
pilot.
talk about it. It's
but
fine. I'll still watch it.
even if we were to do spoilers, like, there's no real spoilers in Napoleon. Like,
No,
really,
Biopics are kind of like, if you consider it's kind of like a historical one, you can't really spoil them
no.
because the
It's
events have already
Do
happened.
you reckon
So
like someone's about to see Napoleon and they're reading a history book? Like, oh, spoilers! Like that doesn't
now
happen.
you can spoil the way the movie like flows out and maybe
Yeah,
some of the things that are touched on, but you can't
yeah.
really spoil the overall story.
Even
yeah,
there, I don't. For this film in particular, I don't think there's any spoilers. I really liked it. I think there's a lot of good and great in here, but I think it's stuck together by a lot of bland, uninspired film. The positives. Joaquin's amazing. For me, Vanessa Kirby dominates and steals this film. I think she is magnificent. I hope that she does any as many roles as she can in the future. I think she is fucking incredible.
Sue Storm.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I would prefer if she does other stuff. Um, but she's absolutely incredible. Every time she's on screen, she dominates the scene, which is awesome. Um, the the battle scenes, unbelievable. Especially on a big screen, then that would be that would be worth the price of admission alone for me. The battle scenes are unbelievable, and that's really not to be unexpected with Ridley Scott because he's Ridley Scott and he's done this isn't his fucking first rodeo. He understands how to do a battle scene, but everything in between it's kind of just meshed together. And I do believe that this like something great is left on the cutting room floor. There is talks about a 4-hour director's cut. We'll see. Like everyone's like, oh, I can't wait till that comes out. I was like, everyone's posting that in every one of their reviews. I'm like, I'm not. It's not confirmed that it's coming out because there is no way that Sony Pictures or Apple, whoever distributed in your
Apple.
well, it's made by Sony Pictures, distributed by Apple.
Yeah.
That whoever like will greenlight that before it's even released because people are gonna be like, oh, I'll just wait for that then. Like, we'll fucking see because I don't know how Apple works. But there's something good there. There is something really good there, but it's just meshed together. I don't mind the love story between Josephine and Napoleon. It gets really weird at times, but I do believe. I was talking to a friend of mine who's huge into history, because a lot of this movie actually they turn it into like a comedy, and it gets really weird comedy, and it like completely takes you off guard, and it's like who knew that Napoleon was like such a weird, funny creep, and everyone's making that like kind of like a criticism, and the Byron's dead, and yeah, everyone's making that kind of like a criticism. But I was talking to a friend who's like huge into history, and he's like, that's how he's portrayed in the letters that they found with him and Josephine. So like, this is actually historically accurate of like him being a fucking weirdo. But yeah, Joaquin was great. But like, yeah, they I don't mind the focus on that love story. But there's like all this political intrigue around it, which I get needs to be there, but it's so hit and miss of like why it needs to be there. And there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't amount to anything. That I do believe there is something great on the cutting room floor because I think that everything will have a tie-in because I don't think that Ridley would have made this with so many open endings. But all like I believe it's worth seeing on the big screen for the battles alone. Yeah, there's like how I've been describing it. There's a lot of great pieces, but it's tied together by some very bland, uninspired film. Byron, what do you think?
Yeah. Um, I out of my mutuals, I have this rated the second highest. I know that the Raiders boys gave it a 4.5. I've given this a high 4, and a lot of my reviews, people get hooked up on what negatives I say about it. I loved this movie. Like I thought it was great. Um, I'll start off with the negatives. The pacing is so weird.
Especially the first
Um,
hour. The first hour is
the
like,
first
holy
the first
shit.
act is it's like nothing like blends together like properly. It always feels like this is this random cut, and then it's just like here's another scene. There's nothing to do with it. It was just weird. I don't think it was necessarily bad. It was just weird. Um, but it also killed like certain moments, like certain like dramatic moments. And the other thing that killed moments was the funny lines that Joaquin Phoenix had come out with the most random shit.
Me, 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 me. That makes sense, Ash. That's actually a line in it. That's like this isn't a spoiler. Like he walks in on his wife, right, and to try and get an heir, he just go me 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 me, and that would be her sign, his sign to let her know that it's go time. Like,
Wow.
and it doesn't just happen once. Every now and then,
What a romantic.
they're just having breakfast. You know, they're full French breakfast with croissants and other stuff,
Croissant?
and it'd be like meh, 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 and you're like, what? I'd love to see the
I have a
script.
feeling that watching this movie is going to solidify that I don't think Napoleon is a very good person. I don't think this movie will help solidify that in my brain, but you have me intrigued.
Yeah.
Look, by the way I just laughed, I was doing that in the theater, and I was in the back row. I was watching it with my brother, and like I'd get the random like person be like this, slowly turn around, and I'm just cracking up in my seat because it's because it's Joaquin Phoenix. It's just, and there were so many points in this movie that the way Joaquin Phoenix was acting, I was just seeing the Joker, and I was scared.
Oh yeah.
Dude's a fucking sociopath. But I think he delivers a very captivating and interesting performance as Napoleon. And you're right, Vanessa Kirby absolutely turned in another great performance for this year alone. And her career is only going to go up. I think she's going to land a ton more roles over the next couple of years that are really just going to, again, just throw her straight up.
Yeah.
Visually, it's a Ridley Scott movie. It's a war epic. It's flawless when it comes to visuals. Will it win anything at the Oscars? No idea. Also, Ridley Scott put out. Ridley Scott's been making headlines for certain things he's been saying about this movie. But he did say one thing about the Oscars. It's like, if I ever won an Oscar, I would say it's about damn time. which I think is absolutely amazing. And he should have an Oscar by now. It's bullshit. But this actually sits at my number 6 of the year. Flaws and all. I think it just edges Talk to Me for me.
Wow. Especially that being a horror.
I mean, sci-fi is my favorite genre, so nothing against horror, you know. But this, I really enjoyed my time with it. And after watching it, I kind of just want to binge Ridley Scott's filmography, even rewatches, because Alien. But I think it's safe to say that Napoleon was a bit of a polarizing movie for some. Curious to think what you think, Ash, when you do end up watching it.
Yeah, historical movies are hit or miss for me. I can really hate them or just be bored, or I love Gladiator, like for example. So it just really depends.
Yeah, who doesn't love Gladiator?
I mean, I'm sure lots of people don't.
Alex, he doesn't. Wait, he might. He's got it at 3 out of 5.
No, he likes it. He just thinks it's overrated.
False.
Yeah.
Wrong, Alex. You are wrong. But we're going to move into hidden gems of the 2020s. Ash, tell me about some.
Yeah. So I tried to keep my list short, but I've got 9 here. I'm just gonna quickly touch on. I'm not gonna go into detail about every single film, but yeah, I wanted to talk more about hidden gems because obviously we're only in the 3rd year going into the 4th year of the 2020s, and I already personally feel like I have found some favorite movies or just really like good films from those years that I didn't really know about until like this year, basically. So Just wanted to share them with everyone, and we can go around and talk about others that you guys might add to the list. But I will jump into my first one is Another Round. I know this
Damn
is
it, that's
not
also my
necessarily.
first one.
I know.
Nice.
I had a feeling it was going to be on your list because I know we talked about this one
Good
on the
pick.
Watch List Book Club, right?
Yeah.
I think yeah. It's got a lot of people that have logged it, so I don't know that it's like hidden per se, but I still feel like it's a hidden gem because I feel like a lot of people that I talk to, like in my personal life more, like have never heard of it. So when
Yeah.
you're talking about outside of movie talk, it's a different, a different scene as far
Everyone
as
movie talk knows it. Everyone outside has no
yeah,
idea. Yeah. I get you.
exactly. And we can't always talk about things in perspective of, our film community because it's just totally different. Like if
Yeah.
I was to tell my mom about this movie, she'd be like, "What are you talking about? I've never
Yep.
heard of this." But yeah, Thomas Vinterberg's movie, Another Round from 2020. I've only seen this film from him. I've not seen his other big one, which I think is The Hunt. But yeah, this one came out in the 2020s. So I just wanted to highlight it. It's become a favorite of mine. It's actually in my top 50 favorites of all time already. And I've only seen it one time. But I just love the way it deals with alcoholism. And I think it does it in a very realistic fashion, but also gets to show you like the way that it can impact 4 different people's lives very differently. So I love that movie and kind of the brotherhood that those guys bring together and has the best ending, I think, of any movie of probably the 2020s at this point, in my opinion.
How much would you love to drunk dance with Mads?
Oh, just the best. Yeah, that whole sequence is so good.
So
And he's amazing in it, obviously. But yeah, I wanted to highlight that one first, but I'll run through the other ones a little bit quicker. I put up The Menu from last year. I think it's great. I recommend it to everybody that I know in my personal life, and they end up enjoying it for the most part. I just think it's a fun movie. Not much to really like hate there.
It's like its own genre, that one, isn't it? It's not
Yeah,
really.
it's
It's not really a horror. It's not really a thriller. It's not really a comedy. It's
like
like
a mystery,
yeah,
thriller, horror,
I'd say it's
comedy.
more mystery comedy. Than
Yeah, it's a tough one to classify for sure. So I do like that it's kind of got its own little unique style. The Black Phone from last year as well, I think it's a little bit of a hidden gem. I know it's a Peacock movie, and those can tend to be kind of crappy. But I think that one actually was well executed.
that's great.
Pig with Nicolas Cage. Have you seen that, Byron?
It's insane.
No?
I've been trying to get him to
Haven't.
watch this for years now.
fuck off.
I have. I have been definitely telling you to watch Pig for.
No. Maybe 1 year.
All right.
Well,
Sure.
2022 and then 2023. That's years, plural.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you.
But yeah, it's real good. I was actually surprised. I didn't think that I was gonna like it. But
Why didn't you think you're gonna?
I
like
don't know.
it?
It just felt like it could be one that would easily be like maybe I'll get bored or maybe I won't be able to like get into the story. But
Yeah,
I thought
fair
it was
enough.
great.
It's awesome.
Not because of him or anything like that. I just the plot, like reading it and seeing like the cover, it just didn't like entice me just with that alone. But definitely worth watching.
Yeah,
I actually gave it
looks
4.5.
It looks like a character study. You're like, I have to be in a mood for
Yeah.
this, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. And on top of that, also another really like hidden one is Boiling Point from
Oh,
2021.
great pick.
It's
Oh,
really under the radar. It was filmed in one take. So the entire film is one long take of what it's like to work in a restaurant in London around Christmas time. And so it's just chaotic and impressive. They just keep going. Like if they walk to where the waiters are, the camera doesn't stop, and then they move right back to the kitchen. It's insane the way they film it.
great.
So
pick.
that alone gives it like a 4, and then I gave it a 4.5 because I actually enjoyed the story. I love restaurant-based films, TV shows. Shout out The Bear. It's just my jam. And okay, then quickly, my last couple are not like my favorite movies of all time, but they're really fun and they're kind of hidden gems. Weird, the Al Yankovic Story,
Hell yeah.
absolute best stoner comedy at this point you can watch. It's the best. Daniel Radcliffe just goes so hard, and he's so buff for that movie for no reason at all.
Yeah, he's
not sure why.
weirdly buff. Like
Ripped.
he's
Yeah,
shredded.
Just because, I guess he just felt like it.
I think that was my highest rated pure comedy of last year.
Yeah, same.
What, like 125?
It's really funny. I laugh. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times now, and it just came out on 4K. So need to get that physical copy soon.
Hell yeah.
And then quickly, The Fallout with Jenna Ortega, really good, really sad. Nobody with Bryan Cranston. Wait, I get that right? Is that Bryan Cranston? Yes.
Nobody. I haven't seen
Yes.
Nobody.
No, not Bryan Cranston. Sorry,
Oh,
Bob
Bob,
Odenkirk. I knew
yeah, of
I was getting
course.
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul confused.
Yeah, I was trying to just
Um,
think of Bryan Cranston though would
sorry.
dominate in that though. By the
I
way,
don't know why, but you said it, and I was like,
You knew what I was talking about, right? I had the
yeah,
wrong
no,
name.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah,
I love that movie. I feel like it gets a lot of hate, but I thought it was really
that
good.
deserves a
I
sequel.
have it at a four and
I
a half.
think so. Yeah, I think it's a
I
good
got it at a
time.
4.5. This is just John Wick.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like a
Same
family man version of John Wick. And then lastly, Watcher with Micah Monroe. We've already talked about it, so I
yeah.
won't like harp on it too much, but definitely a hidden gem of last year. So that's my list. Harry, what else would you add?
Yeah, I had another round was mine as well. That was great. A great pick. Great pick, Ash. Great pick.
I tried.
Color out of the space. It's this movie starring Nicolas Cage. Came out 2019. Sorry, so I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway. Color Out of the Space is like a.
How dare you?
I know, my bad. It's a sci-fi film starring Nicolas Cage. It's very Lovecraftian horror of like this family living on a farm, and then they get basically invaded by a monster within, and it kind of just destroys them in mentality and makes everyone go insane. And there's like a couple of scenes where Nicolas Cage is just being Nicolas Cage, and he's incredible. I do believe I saw this it came out in Australia in 2020. There you go. USA came out in 2020. I'm happy with that then. Yeah, cool. Happy with that.
Okay. Well, it's released in 2020. That counts.
Yeah, cool. Color out of space. Jesus, I keep saying color out of the space. Color out of space. Unreal. Very, very cool sci-fi film. Next up, I've got Willy's Wonderland, which is another Nicolas Cage film, which is basically it's literally Five Nights at Freddy's with Nicolas Cage, and it is so much better than Five Nights at Freddy's. It's made on like a nothing budget, and it's hilarious. It's great, and it's good fun. So if you're in the mood for something fun to watch while you're not sober, Willy's Wonderland, definitely put that on your to watch list. The Vast of Night. Have you watched this? I saw it on. I think it's on Prime, at least in Australia. It's this like kind of like a horror film. It is. It's like an alien film. And it's all told through perspective of these radio operators in like the 1980s, 1970s, 1980s, maybe earlier 1960s, well earlier time. Awesome, super original. It's a bit of a slow burn, but I love that, and it kind of really well pays off. But it's just really cool. Like couple of characters, they're really great. Really, you stick with them, and it's a very short film. It's like 90 minutes long. It's great. Vast Night, very much recommend. This one, I'm not sure if it's like a hidden gem because it was nominated for an Oscar, but the Trial of the Chicago 7 needs to be talked about more. It's written by Sorkin. I think it's directed by Sorkin, but it was nominated for Best Picture and Best Screenplay. It is fantastic. The cast is disgusting. Sacha Baron Cohen deserves an Oscar for it. I'll never not talk about the Chicago 7. And one that
I've never seen this. I'm gonna add this to my watch list.
that's a 5 out of 5 for me. Trial of Chicago 7. I think it's brilliant. There you go.
I think it's 5 out of 5 for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And one that I'm not sure if this is a hidden gem either, but Palm Springs.
I love that movie so much.
The movie's amazing.
Is that the Andy Samberg movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Okay. No, I think it's on my watch list.
Yeah, you'd love
But
it.
I'm just imagining the poster. It's like the real colorful poster, right?
Yeah, it's a rom-com, but has the
You're gonna love it, Byron.
Yeah.
It's got sci-fi in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi in it. And it's like the Groundhog Day formula. It's good fun, and there is another like cameo of a pretty high-profile actor that you adore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's got the girl that plays the mom in How I Met Your Mother. I don't know if you
Kristen
ever
Milioti?
watched that show. Yeah, Kristen Milioti, I think it is.
Something like that. When she's on the show, we'll be able to. We'll make sure.
She also plays Jordan Belfort's wife in Wolf of Wall Street before he leaves her, cheats on her with Margot Robbie's character.
Yeah.
POS.
Yeah, definitely Palm Springs. If you haven't seen Palm Springs, absolutely put it on your watch list. I'm glad that because I was writing this like Trial of Chicago 7. It's been nominated for Oscars. That hidden gem. I'm glad you haven't seen it, Ash. Put that on your watch list. And I'm glad you haven't seen Palm Springs, because then it kind of, we've done some good here. We've done some good here.
Yeah, no, mine were a little bit more like well-known ones, I would say. Maybe not for everybody, but yeah, yours were definitely real true hidden gems. I'd only even heard of two of them.
Oh,
So
watch The Vast Night. The Vast Night's good fun. It's good.
good list.
That's me, Byron.
Yeah, just a couple on my end. 9 Days. It is Edson Oda's directorial debut. It's really good. I only have 4 other mutuals that have seen it, and we've got a 5 and a 4.5. I also give it a 4.5. I think it's one of the greatest directorial debuts in a long, long time. Zazie Beetz, Winston Duke, both deliver incredible performances in here. It's a drama fantasy, which is a genre combination that I'm not like all that used to seeing. But if others are like this, I'll watch more because it's really fucking good. Minari, A24.
Great.
Speaking of
Yeah.
That's
Stephen
on my
Yeun,
watch list. I really need to watch it.
Yeah, you will love
maybe
that movie, Ash.
yeah,
You will love
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not even going to say anything on it there. But Stephen Yeun, absolutely incredible. The story is absolutely incredible. But for me, I think this is one of the more just not talked about enough A24 movies. Which I don't know why, because it's highly rated. I hope so. But yeah, it's highly rated. A lot of 4.5s and a lot of 5s across my mutuals. So
Same.
definitely one to watch. And the Mitchells versus the Machines. This was a recommendation by Mr. George.5. It's an animated movie from 2021. In terms of my animated ranking, it's pretty damn up there. It's a 4.5 for me.
Yeah,
I think it's really, really, really good. You have seen it, Harry?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Even outside of a cartoon, it's just a really solid sci-fi.
No, it's great. But even the animation is like Spider-Verse level. Like it's brilliant. I think it's made by the same studio.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, the color is fucking out of it. And then just smaller ones like Don't Look Up, I think doesn't actually get mentioned all that often. The Black Phone, one of my favorite horror movies this decade so far. Please give Ethan Hawke more roles like this, because the man can go. And The Power of the Dog is another one. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Interesting.
Although when I watched it, I was very out of it.
Right.
Like very most mysterious.
Yeah, I was very. Yeah.
Not
So many different things could have happened next.
I did not like The Power of the Dog.
You didn't?
No, not at all.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
But hey, that's film fan. I'm glad you liked it.
It's all right, Harry. I don't have this super deep connection with it. Ugh.
Great
I
list,
won't kill you for it.
Yeah, it's fair.
We'll move into the Superman castings.
Yeah, that's me. So I kind of just wanted to touch on this because this is like big news for the comic book world. DC dying, even though we still got Aquaman 2 coming out. Yeah, that's my most anticipated. Can't wait for that fucking trash can. I think I'm gonna have fun with Aquaman 2. It doesn't matter. But like this new casting of the new Superman is always going to be a huge thing. It's like the comic book James Bond. And then everything else around that. I think that this is all really good signs for James Gunn's universe. So I kind of just wanted to touch on it. It'll only be a couple of minutes, but just kind of go through some of the castings that have come forward. The main one that I think is perfectly cast is Jimmy Olsen, who's Skylar Gisondo, which if you look him up, you would absolutely recognize him. He's in a lot of stuff that I should have in front of me already, my bad. He's in Licorice Pizza, he's in Vacation, He's in the Santa Clarita Diet. He's in like the museum. He's in a lot of stuff, but he plays that like really geeky sort of role really well. But I think that he's one of those actors that I've always thought that he needs to get a bigger role to kind of sink his teeth into, and I think he'd be a really great Jimmy Olsen. Lois Lane is Rachel Brosnahan. I can't pronounce her last name. She's the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So she's obviously an incredible actress already. I can't pronounce her last name. Brosnan. Let's say that's what it is. Probably isn't. I think she's amazing as an actress, and I'm really, really excited to see what she does with Lois Lane. Lex Luthor, I think, is an unreal pick with Nicholas Holt. Speaking of the menu, I saw a lot of people making content around this saying that, oh, they're just going down the route of Jesse Eisenberg again. I'm putting it out there. Nicholas Holt is going to do a much better job. Much better job. I don't think it's going to be down that route either. I do think Nicholas Holt is a much more versatile actor. And I think I can't wait to see what he does with Lex. And I really, truly trust James Gunn with his vision of Lex. So it'll be pretty cool. I did originally want a Lex Luthor that is like a hulking beast, kind of like a kingpin. But again, that's just going to make him more of a henchman than a villain. And then we've got Clark Kent, Superman, which is David Corenswet. Corenswet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who you may know from Pearl. He plays a projectionist in Pearl. This, I think, is a spectacular casting. He's a good actor. We've already seen good actor. But he isn't someone that we really know that much, which I think is really important. We've got no expectations for him, which I think is so fucking good for him. But he looks like Clark Kent. He looks great. He literally looks like he could be Henry Cavill's brother, which I'm totally all for.
Yeah, it's actually kind of scary how much they look alike.
Yeah, and just watch, I now follow him on socials. Watch him beast up in the next couple of months. He's gonna be posting some progress pics. He's going to become.
Have you seen the early
huge.
photos?
No, is he huge? Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah.
He's not even finished yet.
Because I think it starts filming in March. So, yeah, he's not finished yet at all. It's like still 5 months to go to completely.
Yeah.
But I kind of just want to open this up of because my opinion, because everyone's going, if we liken this to Marvel news and the Pedro Pascal being Reed Richards news, which isn't confirmed yet. Everyone's saying it's confirmed. He's still very much in talks. He hasn't put pen to paper. That's a huge name. He's in so many IPs now that I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not entirely stoked about that. But this is starting a whole new universe with like faces we know, but we don't know that. Like Nicholas Holt, we know Nicholas Holt. We've seen him in Mad Max. We've seen him in the menu. We know Nicholas Holt, but we don't like see him everywhere. So like this is cool to get these actors kind of something to sink their teeth into.
He's not really a lead though, like
no.
in anything that he does.
That's very true. Yeah, which I'm very, very curious to see what they do. But I think it's important to do these castings to people that have like made an impact already, or like shown that they can do this, rather than throwing everything on someone that hasn't done a feature film before, which they could have easily done. I would have been interested to see that, but I think this is a better route. I'm looking at this casting and I'm now very excited for Superman. Are you guys excited for Superman at all?
I'm always going to be excited for superhero content. That it's one of my favorite things in cinema. Sorry, Martin Scorsese. I referred to superhero content as cinema. I've never been too big on the actual castings. Maybe the odd one might like get me to be more amped for it. I'm still concerned about this movie. It has to succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is one of, if not, it's one of the most important comic book movies of all time. It's right up there with Avengers Endgame. And Avengers Endgame had 3 phases of Marvel writing on it. If that didn't do as good as it did, who knows where it would be. This is the first movie of of a refresh of the DC universe, and it's much needed. If this movie fails in any way, I'm really worried.
Yeah, well, DC's very much put all their eggs in the basket. They said
Yeah,
fuck you to the Snyder fans. They said fuck you to the Henry Cavill fans. They
they
said
said fuck you to me.
they said fuck you to specifically The Rock. like, um,
Oh yeah, I
so
agree.
they very much put all their eggs in the basket, saying we've got Gunn, let him run. So we'll
In
see.
Gun we trust. Yeah.
Are you excited for Superman at all, Ash?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I've gotten like the big hype that I got with the 10-year buildup of Marvel movies, just because
Yeah,
it was like an experience through my 20s for me. I'm a little more detached from DC. I always have been. The Batman movies are the only ones I've actually seen, like
yeah,
almost all of them. I've only ever seen the Superman movie that, like, with Henry Cavill. I've never seen any of the other ones. I've just never been attached to that character. So I'm neutral, but I'm excited like about what James Gunn can do because he's one of my favorite comic book directors.
yeah.
Guardians are my favorite movies, from the MCU. So I'm excited and I like this cast. It's looking good. Actually, Skylar, yeah, Gazondo, who you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's who you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of forgot his face until I just looked it
You
up.
look at
But
his face like
he's
that
great.
guy.
He's
Yeah.
so funny. He's so funny in Santa Clarita Diet. I loved his character. But yeah, I'm hopeful and I'll definitely see it. And I think that they have the right people, to maybe make it great. But I'm probably gonna go in with very like neutral expectations, just to not really build it up too much.
I can't wait for
I will.
that first advertising campaign's gonna be fucking sick. I think
Hmm.
Gunn's gonna put a lot behind it. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I will recommend the first Superman movie from the 70s.
Christopher
Believe
Reeves,
it, like, yeah, 78-ish,
maybe.
something like that. That's a really good movie. Just a really solid Superman movie. I wouldn't bother with the sequels, um, especially the fifth and fourth ones.
Quest for Peace,
Um,
yeah.
Fucking so painful, bro. One of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen. Um, we'll go into our top five final girl characters. Now, this is reasonably subjective on how you want to do this. I've kept mine to strictly slasher movies because I feel that's just where this type of character comes from. Um, but it's a top five. I'm not going to be vetoing stuff. Um,
Do you wanna before you
Ash,
go in? Do you wanna like in case someone doesn't know the term final girl? Do you wanna explain
yeah,
what that is?
final girl, the main protagonist that survives a serial killer trying to take her head off.
Yeah,
Um, we all know it as soon as we say a name, it will start flooding
for
in.
sure.
Ash, I'm gonna give you your number five, please.
Okay, we're gonna go one by one.
Yeah,
Can I do a couple honorable mentions?
Yeah,
go
I've
ahead.
got one honorable mention. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Good
I
job.
have three. Because I didn't just do slashers in mine, mostly slashers, but I couldn't leave off this person as my number five. But honorable mentions to Laurie Strode, to Tree Gelbman. Is it
Nice.
Gelbman?
Gelbman.
And Mia
Yeah.
from the Evil Dead reboot in 2013.
Oh, great.
She went through hell. Yeah,
What,
so that's my
what's
honorable mentions.
what's Tree
Oh, sorry,
from?
go ahead. Tree is from Happy Death Day.
Happy Death
She's just a
Day.
fun
Teresa.
horror character.
Teresa cannot think of her last name.
Yeah, Teresa. I think it's Gelbman. That's what it
Gelbman.
says.
Yeah, Gelbman.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You're right.
Well, my number five is Ellen Ripley. The Alien is up there for me in my top 10 horror. We already talked about this, but I think as far as like final girls, I do think that my slasher movies kind of take the lead there. So she's five. But she's just such a badass character. I'm not leaving her off this list. I just
Oh
refuse.
yeah,
Nice.
Harry, number five, please.
My one honorable mention, Chris Washington from Get Out. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite final girls.
He's a final girl. I didn't know we were including the
Hey,
gentleman
It's
in the final girls
2023,
list.
Ash. It is 2023. All right, cancel her. Cancel. Yeah, Chris Washington definitely. But number five is Sally from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that all is because of the last scene with her screaming on the truck as it drives away.
He screams so much.
Is amazing. The movie is really really great. So yeah, Sally. Byron, it's your number five.
I have no honorable mentions.
Loser.
And being fuck off. Um, my number five. I do not know her last name. I have Erin from Your Next.
Harson. Aaron
This
Harson.
Carson. This is what I think to be possibly the most underrated final girl character of all time. Um, the, the she's so just like sweet and innocent at the start, and then by the end, fuck, she's incredible. And one of my favorite horror performances that I've recently seen. I've watched Your Next twice now. Um, the first time not too long ago. I think it was still this year. Um, but I think she's incredible. Ash, what's your number four?
My number four is Aaron.
Nice.
Same one. I'm sure it'll go up over time, but I've only seen that movie I think 2 times now. Just such a badass, such a great little 90-minute horror film, and yeah, she goes through hell with that family.
That's a great one. My number four is Susie Banyan, I believe it's pronounced, from Suspiria. That movie is the first watch this year, and it like I'm obsessed with it. I fucking love Suspiria. It's almost my top 10 horror of all time. I think it's goddamn spectacular. I would go Suspiria.
Nice.
You should watch the remake of Suspiria.
It's very much on my watch
I
list.
want to.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.5 as well.
We could do it
just as the original.
We could do an
So
episode
good,
on both if you like.
Yeah.
My number four is Grace from Ready or Not.
Ready or Not. Yep. Nice one.
Samara Weaving. Currently my favorite actress. This is my favorite role of hers. This movie is unbelievable. I have it rated at a 4.5 out of 5, and a lot of that is thanks to her performance. I mean, the situation and just concept of this movie is fucking awesome. I'll never get bored watching it, and it's brutal, it's funny, it's actually like kind of scary at some point when you think about like what's actually happening. And I just think it's done in such a unique way that it just works like really, really well.
I remember when the Scream 5 was coming out, and I was like, fuck, they're making another one. This is going to be shit. And then they're like, oh, it's the same directors as Ready or Not. I'm like, oh, we're good. We're solid. We're sorted then. We're totally sorted then, yeah.
It's a winning movie right there. Second best of the franchise.
Yeah.
Ash,
all right.
Podium finish.
Number three, right? Okay. Number three for me is, it's probably just strictly biased, but it's Nancy Thompson. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. No, I mean, she's definitely not my favorite final girl. She's really good. I really like her. She probably shouldn't even be this high up, but again, it's a bias I have for this movie. I think she would normally probably be like 4 or 5, but she goes through a lot, and Freddie is he's a nightmare, literally. So I think she deserves to be higher just for having to deal with his ass for 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Harry?
My number 3 is Laurie Strode. I think she's a badass. I think everything from the first film down into like even the remake. I just feel like for me, Jamie Lee needs to be mentioned because she is the original Scream Queen. I fucking love Jamie Lee Curtis so much. Fun little side story because I remember I went to the premiere for the 2019 remake of Halloween, and she was there and she was doing like a Q&A beforehand. Got her to sign my copy of Christmas of the Cranks. I saw you reviewed that yesterday, and I was like, I got a copy of Christmas of the Cranks. Can I get this signed? And she was she's like, oh, I've never been asked that before. Yeah. But she said she adores this role. It's her favorite role to ever play, but she'll never do another one ever again. And she got paid a lot of money, and she did 2 sequels. So she very much lied to everyone that night. But it is what it is. Yeah. But Laurie Strode, I think, as a character is great. And her evolution into her whole life being obsessed about Michael Myers, very understandable, and then being basically training to kind of go beyond that final girl, I think is awesome.
Yeah.
What's your number 3, Byron?
It's Nancy Thompson.
Nice.
She belongs on this list. Like, all she faces Freddy fucking Krueger. Like, that's enough to get you on any list. One of probably the scariest horror villain I can think of right now. But also probably the funniest. I think Nancy is one of the more intelligent final girl characters we've seen. And although she's not quite at the level of the all-time greats, I think she definitely belongs in a top 5.
Hell yeah.
Number two. I'm curious because I'm really confused.
So I rewatched Ready or Not this last season, and Grace definitely jumped up to number 2 for me. I just think that she is one of the best final girls we've ever gotten. Like, she's funny, it's well acted, she's a badass, she takes care of herself throughout the whole movie and deals with this psychotic family. She screams like a scream queen, she fucking kills like a scream queen. I mean, the way she just sits at the end of the movie on the staircase, there's just nothing bad to say about her. She's just fucking been through it all. So yeah, number 2.
Oh,
you're on mute.
You're on mute, Byron.
I can't wait for you to watch Mayhem with her
Oh
and
yeah, I
Stephen
need to
Yeun.
do that.
Oh, it's a ride. Number 2, Harry.
All right. I'm just going to be completely honest. I originally was including Alien. And this is where she would be. This is where Ellen would sit, all right? But I got to mention Grace. You
forgot about Grace?
No. I had on my list, I had Grace / Ellen. And I was just like going to do a game time decision if I was going to include it or not.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
No. Grace is, Ready or Not, it's one of the best modern horrors. Yes. Grace is unbelievable. I echo everything that you guys have said. She's a badass. She's also just so fucking lovable. Like, she's just so sweet and innocent, but she's also like that whole there's so many good one-liners from her that's so good. But yeah, she's a badass. I fucking love Grace. Byron.
Yeah. Nice. My number 2, and with this, really only I'm sure you can guess who the number 1 is. My number 2 is Laurie Strode.
Is all our number 1 the same? That'd be so sick.
Probably.
If all our number
It
the
is.
same.
Dude, who else? We'll do it. We'll do a countdown on number 1 actually. And if someone doesn't have this, the person, then I will be blocking you. But my number 2 is Laurie Strode, the most iconic final girl of all time. I mean, icon status alone gets her at number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Laurie Strode.
It's a scream
You guys
queen.
are making me feel really bad for not putting her on my list. I mean, I would probably replace her with Ellen Ripley because I don't think that's like a true final girl, but
you'll look back if you watch this episode back. As soon as you're like honorable mentions, Laurie Strode, I was just like,
I saw your face. The more I rewatch the Halloween movies, like, I love her and I love Jamie Lee Curtis. It's just she's not as interesting to me as some of these other ones. I
get it. I
understand it.
I mainly put her on the list because of Jamie Lee. I was like, Jamie Lee needs. Yeah, I was like, Jamie Lee needs mention.
All right, I'm gonna count down from 3, 2, and then 1, and then I will say go on go. Say the name. Say the name.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sydney.
Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Oh, sorry, wrong list. Sydney. Sorry, wrong list.
Number
wrong
1.
list.
I expected this from you two. You should have expected this from me. Like, even though I don't hold Scream the movie at as high as you guys do, Sydney Prescott is without a doubt the greatest final girl character that's ever touched a movie. The first 5 movies, like, she was. I mean, maybe you can take out the 5th if you really want, because she doesn't really play that much of a big part in it. But the first 4 movies, unbelievable. The first movie is legendary type shit. I think what's she just fits these movies perfectly, man. And I appreciate that she's not a complete tool, like a lot of these kinds of characters are
A
in a lot
complete
of
what?
movies. Cool,
Oh,
dumbass.
making sure I understood.
um, but yeah, people in slasher movies especially are just fucking idiots. So thankfully, Sydney is learns from these movies. 100% greatest final girl ever.
Amen.
Yeah. If you're listening, Nev Campbell, we love you.
Yeah. And don't go to
Please
Scream 7.
don't go to Scream 7.
Don't do it.
Bang.
Don't do it. They said no to your paycheck that you totally deserved. Like, don't do
what
it.
the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, Scream 6 worked without it, but you know.
But the people saying that
Don't-
Scream 6 is better
Don't
than...
come back.
There was people saying
No.
Scream 6 was better than Scream 1. And it's like, it's
Absolute.
fucking not.
Not. Yeah.
It's
Scream
so-
5 is better than Scream 6.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Wholeheartedly. Remember how they're like, oh, it's all in New York, and then they didn't use New York? Remember that?
Yeah, it was pretty. The subway scene was fucking
Harry's
great.
so solid.
Yeah,
Remember
but-
that?
Like,
Yeah. Subway scene. Guess what they have in every town, Byron? Trains. Every town. Fuck that movie.
There's so many like
Movie's
staple
great.
New York City locations they could have used that they didn't.
They
But
should. I said this in my review. They should have had the final showdown on like the top of Empire State. Just make it. Just use this fucking
Yeah.
location. Just use
I
it.
know on rewatch that one's gonna go down probably to a 3.5 for me, or even lower, and I'm kind of sad about it because I know it's gonna go down. But for now, I'm just gonna pretend and just leave it where it is.
Ghostface with the
I've seen this-
shotgun though. Ghostface with the shotgun's pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
it caught me off
That's
guard in
pretty
the
cool.
trailer.
nice.
All right, we will move into our game of the week. We have a guess the movie based on the cast. I'm going to read you 6 to 8 names starting from the bottom. By the way, I got this off Letterboxd, so the order that they had them in is the order that I have them. Did I miss 1 or 2 in the middle? Probably. But we will move.
Are we
I'm
just
gonna-
shouting out the answer?
I'm
or-
gonna leave a gap between every name. I'm gonna leave like a 1 second gap
Yeah. Okay.
for you to just. Oi. All right. Movie number 1. Kent Shocknick,
Kent Shock.
Bryce Cast,
Wait.
Shocknick
Okay.
with no C. Bryce Carlson,
All right.
Michael Hyatt.
Ash, you also waiting to hear someone that you recognize?
Hold on.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
They're coming, Ash. They're coming. Kevin Raham, Bill Paxton,
Here we go.
Rene Russo, Riz Ahmed.
Nightcrawler.
Oh,
It is Nightcrawler and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Did you have that as well?
until you said Riz Ahmed, I didn't know like any
Yeah.
of it. I know who Bill Paxton is, but I
yeah.
couldn't picture a movie he was in.
I've definitely seen these names before. Couldn't tell you anything about them. I know one of you would get it on Riz Ahmed.
Yeah.
My mind was going to like Sound of Metal, but then I didn't want to say because
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I don't think Bill Paxton's in that. And you would have said the girl's name by now. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one.
All right. Movie number 2. Tom Wilkinson.
Okay.
I feel like Harry already knows. Morgan Freeman, Katie Holmes,
Oh.
Cillian Murphy.
Batman Begins.
I
It is
was
Batman
okay.
Begins.
I was second guessing myself. I was actually going to say that, and I thought I was wrong.
Originally, I wanted to do that as just like the big names because they all have the same big names. And just watch
Yeah.
you guys name all of them.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, it does have Katie Holmes. The other
Yeah.
ones.
Number 3, Kristen Berg, William Sturchy, Dale Dickey,
Jesus.
Kevin Rankin. Oh, wait for it. Marin Island, Ireland. Here we go. Jill Birmingham. Ben Foster.
Oh,
Chris Pine.
Hell
Hell or
High
High
Water.
Water.
Oh, who
No,
else?
Harry. No.
Ash.
No. I got it first.
Another one where it's just like, as soon as I get to Chris Pine, someone
I should have
and
said
Jeff
it
Bridges,
with Ben
and
Foster.
Jeff
I know. I
Bridges.
was like, wait, I want to hear the other name because it could be a couple things.
Oh, so you
Good
guys did an episode of the Watchlist Book Club on this movie, which is why I decided to throw it in here.
Nice.
And yes, some of these movies have links to you guys.
Oh,
Good to know.
Rosemary's Baby.
What the fuck? No,
Oh.
actually not on here. Number 4. Stephen McKinley Henderson. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, Bones and All.
No.
Call Me by Your Name.
Don't Look Up.
No.
Little Women.
No. And no. Lucas Hedges.
Lady Bird.
Yes.
Great pick,
Yes.
Ash. Dude, your eyes.
I love that movie.
Your eyes are the definition of lit up there. Holy shit.
I was like, you guys just said like 5 titles.
This is one of the only games I could actually beat you at, Harry. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm very
you're going
excited.
well.
right
You're killing it right now.
You're beating the Actoral guy. What's that game called?
Actoral.
2-2.
Yeah, that.
All right.
You're beating that guy. Number 5. Tim Roth.
Oh. Wait. Reservoir Dogs.
No. Eric Stoltz. Harvey Keitel. Bruce Willis.
Die Hard.
No. Uma Thurman.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh my god, we said it at the same time.
Yeah,
You were like
Harry's
a
came like
second ahead of me. Like a second.
Yeah. All right,
Who's
I
Eric
could've gone
Stoltz
there
in Pulp
for you,
Fiction?
but nobody's there.
I think he's one of
He's
the.
somewhere.
Is he playing
It's hard because some sites like Letterboxd will put like name value higher on the list than like how big.
Yeah,
of a
they're not
role
always
they are.
super accurate on Letterboxd.
That was the only thing I was just like, after I read it, I was like, oh mate, I might have fucked up.
He
with that.
plays Lance, who's just like the drug dealer. That's
Oh.
kind of weird that his name is that high up.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Number 6. Henry Fonda.
12 Angry
12
Men.
Angry
Yeah.
Men.
Fucking
I
Jesus,
said
Harry.
it first, Harry.
And Ash. Those
I
came in
said
at
it
the same
first.
time.
I was moving on my camera
So-
before you even opened your mouth.
See, on my side, I said it like let's say a draw. 'cause
Okay, wait.
I said
Hold
it
on.
first
I'm trying
on
to work-
mine, and you'll be able to
trying
see
to
it on
work
my
it out because
recording though. You'll be able to see it on the recording.
They actually, I heard you guys at the same time.
Should we
Tie.
say
Who's-
tie?
who's
Should we say
delayed?
tie?
Tie.
We'll give it a tie. Yeah, so I threw both your favorite movies in here,
Yeah, nice.
which is why, like beforehand, I was just like, yeah, some of these movies.
I love how you
Alright,
go
so now
straight
it's-
to Henry Fonda for that one.
Now it's 4
what
to
the
3, right? 4-3. So we
Yes.
got to have at least getting a tiebreaker here.
Number 7. John Magaro. Hamish Linklater. Melissa Leo.
Ooh.
Boyhood?
No. Brad Pitt. Steve Carell.
Big Short.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, wait, Steve
The
Carell and
Big
Brad
Short.
Pitt in a movie together.
Yeah. I had a
If I
feeling
get
that
these
was-
next two right, then it's a tie. Otherwise, Harry wins.
And then obviously Ryan Gosling and Christian Bale. But those
That's
were
good.
dead
Hamish
giveaway.
Linklater, is he not related to Richard?
I think I heard a different name, and I was
I don't
thinking
know.
his daughter, who was in Boyhood.
Surely it's
so-
not a common last name, right?
He looks very similar to him. Could be. I don't know. Sorry, that's a question for another time.
Number 8. Isaac Gonzalez. John Bernthal. Fuck yeah, John Bernthal.
Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
Hmm.
Jamie Foxx. Lily James.
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. I said it first.
Ash, Baby Driver is correct.
Yes.
Nice, Ash.
Uh,
Nice.
it's a
The
very
movie's becoming quite problematic, though.
very
as far as
very. Number 9. This might take a little bit of thinking. Kristen Wiig,
Bridesmaids.
PJ Miller, Christopher Mintz Plaza.
Emoji movie?
Oh,
Oh, How to
No.
Train Your Dragon.
Yes, fucking.
oh,
wow.
that's not where my mind was going at
Wow.
all.
I was like, oh, I'll throw an animated one in here and see if it trips someone.
I
Holy
think
shit!
that-
Yeah,
I had no
Jonah
clue
Hill,
she was in
Jonah
that
Hill,
movie.
Craig Ferguson, Gerald Butler.
Wait, they all voice people in that movie?
Yeah. Wonder which one Jonah Hill is.
News to me. I think Harry won more. I think he wins automatically. We can do one more though if you want, just for fun.
I've only got one more.
Oh, okay.
Number 10. Mark Hamill. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Sophie Cookson. Mark Strong.
Oh, Kingsman.
Shazam? Oh,
No. What'd
Kingsman
you say
2.
here?
Kingsman.
No.
Kingsman
Oh.
2.
No. Samuel Jackson.
Kingsman 3.
the Kingsman.
It's not Kingsman 3.
Just the Kingsman, right? Or Kingsman?
No. Harry might have said it.
Oh, Kingsman the Secret
Kingsman.
Service?
Yes.
Oh.
The first
Whatever
one.
the fuck it's called.
You're
Oh
like,
my
Kingsman
god. What a
2.
fool.
You said 2. You said 2.
I said Kingsman. You said
two.
no. I
was
said
just
Kingsman 2. I was
hold
like,
on. You said
doesn't-
them. You said.
See, this is going to become a problem. This is what the Real Talk guys deal with because Seth was in that one time. He was like, I said it first, but then it's always delayed because of the network
Yeah.
connection.
Poor
It's alright,
Seth gets ripped off of
I've
so
got
many wins.
I've got an idea that we can fix that with, so we can do that for next.
I think you won regardless, even if I
Oh,
didn't
very
get
nice.
the other one. But good game.
Yes.
GG's.
Hopefully
GG's.
we can all stay friends. Don't hold it against me. Well, that is it for episode 7. Rate us on Spotify 5 stars, please and thank you. Remember to like this YouTube video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us across all of our social medias. We're on pretty much everything: Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, all that good stuff. And we will see you next week.